All right, so we have an update regarding the Supreme Court decision on Trump's attempt to end the temporary protected status program for Venezuelans. I know a couple months ago he attempted to end the CHNV program, which is Cuba, Haiti, Nicaragua, and Venezuela. He tried to end that program, which granted asylum status, refugee status, TPS status, etc., to people fleeing those countries for various reasons. These countries are not in good shape, to say the least. I'm not sure what the status is as far as Haitians and Nicaraguans and Cubans go, but we have a definitive answer on the Venezuelan side of it, and that is Supreme Court will allow Trump administration to end TPS program for Venezuelans. Oh boy. Okay. Let's read. Washington. The Supreme Court on Monday said it will let the Trump administration end the temporary protected status program protecting roughly 350,000 Venezuelan migrants from the threat of deportation while legal proceedings over the move continue. The High Court granted the administration's request to lift, for now, a lower court's injunction that blocked Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem's revocation of the Temporary Protected Status Program, or TPS, for Venezuelans. Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson said she would deny the administration's bid for emergency relief. Noem terminated the designation, which had been extended by the Biden administration in February, a move that would have cleared the way for Venezuelans to lose their government-issued work permits and deportation protections on April 7th. And you know damn well, as soon as those, if they don't have a protected status, even if they do, without we've been seeing, they're going to get deported. Like, it isn't like, oh, if they've been just living here and working here, not committing any crimes or doing anything bad, they'll be fine. No, they won't be fine. They won't be. Look at their record. But a federal judge in California blocked the action in late March and said her decision to terminate the TPS program for Venezuelan migrants appeared to be predicated on negative stereotypes and may have been motivated by unconstitutional animus. So, let me just come out and say, do I dispute that Trump has the authority to end these TPS programs at will? No. But do I think it's absolutely wrong for him to end them at will? Absolutely, because we're going to look at some statistics here at the end of the video after we read the article about crime in Venezuela and just how not good that country is right now. And we're going to compare that to a country that just was opened up for asylum, refugee, and TPS status, South Africa. Now, Trump's initial executive order and all of the rhetoric has been about white South African Afrikaners. Now, of course, the first group that they brought in was all white people. But the embassy website has since kind of clarified, like, oh no, it's all minorities. Like, okay, we'll see about that. Because a lot of their arguments were, especially from Elon, was that there's white genocide going on in South Africa. And I got a lot of hate for this, for saying, hey, that's not true. Like, it's just not. Like, I'm sorry, but it's not true. And people get really mad when I have qualms with the South African refugee program, while at the same time they're turning around and ending all these refugee programs for countries who are objectively in much worse conditions, after the people from those countries have been endlessly smeared. Like the Haitians, like they're eating the cats and dogs, or the Venezuelan freaking gangs who are taking over apartment buildings all over. Like, the smearing is insane. And then Trump issues an executive order which clearly states Afrikaners. I imagine they got pushback, so that's why the embassy website was updated. But so far, it's only been white people coming. People don't like when I point that out, but I don't know what you want me to tell you. Now, I feel like I should clarify, I don't think the program should be ended. I don't care. I am, across the board, relatively pro-immigration. So if I was in charge or had a say or anything, I wouldn't end this program. I don't care, okay? Like, I am pro-immigration. As long as you have been vetted and you're not a criminal, like, I don't care, okay? Like, I don't know how many more studies I can show in previous videos that immigration is just not remotely a reason or a problem. Like, it's not the reason for the problems this country is facing. It's not the reason why your healthcare is expensive. It's not the reason why we don't have a livable federal minimum wage and that the minimum wage hasn't been increased in like 2 decades. And it's like, what, $7.25 an hour? It's not the reason why education is so damn expensive. It's not the reason why groceries are so damn expensive. So stop blaming immigrants for everything. And they really just went hardcore against immigration. And it's like, white South Afrikaners, come on in. It's like, what? Anyways, we'll get to that more at the end of the video. Let's see. A federal appeals court declined to provide emergency relief to the Trump administration and paused the district's court order, leading the Trump administration to seek the Supreme Court's intervention. So as long as the order is in effect, the secretary must permit hundreds of thousands of Venezuelan nationals to remain in the country, notwithstanding her reasoned determination that doing so is contrary to the national interests. Solicitor General D. John Sawyer wrote in the administration's emergency appeal with the High Court. Trisha McLaughlin, oh God, DHS Assistant Secretary for Public Affairs, called the High Court's ruling a win for the American people and the safety of our communities. Like, it's so obvious how just racist they are against these people. These people who were here on legal status. And they also have this idea that, like, the Biden administration wasn't arresting criminal immigrants or anything like that. Well, that's just opposite. So, like, these people are just trying to work, live a safer and better life. And you're saying that getting this TPS status, this refugee status, getting rid of that, it's a win for the American people and the safety of our communities? How much more brazen can these people be for people to realize, like, are they slandering these people? Are these people really the problem? Are these people really the reason why my healthcare is so expensive? Why the number one cause of bankruptcy in the U.S. is healthcare or medical debt? Like, what? It's crazy. Like, I don't know how to get it to you that this administration is just picking a scapegoat. Anything but what they are doing, anything but the rich corporations that own this administration, essentially. Look who was at Trump's own inauguration. You had the Walmart CEO, Amazon CEO, like the PayPal CEO. Like, it was like the top 7 richest people in the United States. Elon Musk. Like, what are we talking about? Anyways, I digress. Congress in 1990 created the program that allows federal government to provide temporary immigration protections for migrants from countries experiencing wars, natural disasters, or other extraordinary and temporary conditions that make it dangerous to send deportees there. The program allows beneficiaries to apply for renewable work permits and deportation deferrals. During the Biden administration, then Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas designated Venezuela for the temporary protected status program, citing extraordinary and temporary conditions that prevented Venezuelans in the U.S. from returning to their home country. Mayorkas extended the designation set to 18 months in October 2023. And in addition to, and it's crazy because a lot of the issues that Venezuela is facing today is because of U.S. intervention into not like military intervention, but just look up our history and of involvement with Venezuela. In addition to designating Venezuela for TPS, the Biden administration also created or expanded programs for Afghanistan, Cameroon, Haiti, and Ukraine, in which Trump is trying to end all of these, or has. We just covered about Afghanistan and Cameroon. Haiti, I don't think it's been completely revoked yet. I think it's still held up in court or something, but that's going away. Haiti's not even a functional state right now. People are like, you look at South Africa, they have 85 murders a day and blah, 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 blah. It's like, okay, for one, Haiti is 1/6 of the population of South Africa, so raw number comparison is just unfair. And 2, Haiti doesn't have any methods to currently report crime rates because they are a failed state. They do not have a government right now. They don't have law enforcement right now. They have a bunch of gangs running around causing chaos and taking controls of certain areas. So at the very least, South Africa, a country that is obviously facing high crime rates, still still has a functioning state at the very least. The Venezuelan program is the largest and covers roughly 600,000 people through two separate designations, though only the designation from 2023 is the issue in the case before the Supreme Court. After Mr. Trump took office for a second term, Noem vacated the extension for more than 350,000 Venezuelans, finding that it was contrary to the national interest to continue the program. The termination was set to take effect April 7th. The Trump administration is also revoking TPS protections for tens of thousands of Haitians, with that move set to take effect in August. Okay, there we go. There's the answer on Haiti. A failed state, by the way. I don't know if I mentioned that or not. TPS beneficiaries and the National TPS Alliance filed a lawsuit in February challenging Noem's decision to end protections for Venezuelans, and U.S. District Judge Edward Chen ruled in their favor, stopping Noem's termination from taking effect nationwide. In a filing with the Supreme Court, Sawyer said the district court's order wrestled control of the nation's immigration policy away from the executive branch and imposed the court's own perception. The district court's decision undermines the executive branch's inherent powers as immigration and foreign affairs, he wrote, calling the lower court's injunction ill-considered. But in response to that request, lawyers for TPS beneficiaries told the Supreme Court in a filing that lifting the district court's injunction would harm nearly 350,000 people who would immediately lose their right to live and work in the U.S. Okay. I prompted ChatGPT, and I know this is the portion of the video that's going to get a lot of hate, but everyone's always bringing up how dangerous South Africa is, and you know what? I don't dispute that. The main thing I dispute with South Africa is that there's white genocide, and that crime is targeted towards white people, when all the data we have is exactly the contrary. Like, there are farmers of every race being, targeted. There are, in terms of just general homicide rate, it was higher and like younger, and for younger like black people. Like, it's crazy. Anyways. Well, so I just wanted to see Venezuela or South Africa, which is safer. Let's see what our favorite MAGA consultant ChatGPT says. Both Venezuela and South Africa face significant safety challenges, but current data suggests that South Africa is relatively safer than Venezuela, though caution is advised in both countries. Venezuela, extremely high risk travel advisory. The U.S. Department of State has issued a level 4 do not travel advisory for Venezuela due to risk of wrongful detention, kidnapping, crime, civil unrest, and inadequate healthcare infrastructure. Crime index. Venezuela ranks as the most dangerous country globally with a crime index of 80.7 and a safety index of 19.3. Homicide rate. In 2023, the homicide rate was 26.8 per 100,000 people, among the highest outside active war zones. Kidnapping and corruption. Venezuela has been labeled the kidnap capital of the world, with high rates of express kidnappings and significant police involvement in crimes. South Africa, high crime, but manageable with caution. Crime index. South Africa has a crime index of 74.7 and a safety index of 25.3, ranking it among the top 5 most dangerous countries globally. So it's, like I said, there's a lot of crime there, but it's not white genocide. And if people from South Africa can seek refugee status in the U.S., then so should Venezuelans and Haitians and the like, because these countries are objectively more dangerous. Like I said, I wouldn't just, if I was in power, or I wouldn't be out there saying like, I want to deport the South Africans who came here. I don't care. Okay, if you're not a criminal, I really don't care. So let me be clear about that. Violent crime. The country experiences high levels of violent crime, including murder, robbery, and sexual assault. Urban crimes. Crimes like Johannesburg, Durban, and Cape Town noted for high crime rates, with Cape Town recording 2,998 murders in a single year. Tourist areas. Despite high crime rates, many tourist areas such as Cape Town's V&A waterfront, the Garden Route, the safari destinations are considered relatively safe when proper precautions are taken. Verdict. While both countries present safety concerns, South Africa offers relatively safer conditions, especially in tourist-centric areas with appropriate precautions. Venezuela, however, poses extreme risk due to its political instability, high crime rates, and inadequate infrastructure. Safety tips for, okay, we don't need safety tips for South Africa. If you were to ask most of the people in my comment section, the only safety tip you need in South Africa is not being white, apparently. Like, please understand where I'm coming from here. I said, even though I disagree with the kind of the basis of the refugee status, I wouldn't do anything to end it. And it's just, you need to realize how hypocritical this is, and how this can be perceived by people who are in support of other immigration programs. Like, you can see how this is just a giant middle finger to groups of people that are really, really hurting. And I'm sorry, but objectively more than people in South Africa. I'm not, like I said, South Africans can still come, but like, we need to be fair with our immigration policy. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below, and I will see you in the next one. If you made it to this point in the video, I just want to give a special thank you. If you enjoyed it, please hit that like button down below. And if you really enjoyed it, maybe consider hitting that subscribe button while you're down there. I want to hear your thoughts in the comment section. I will try to reply to any and all comments that I can. Until next time, watch that video on screen.